Shalom, our praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Baha, Rakakwadash, to all the brothers of Great Millstone and the like-minded men, pushing the gospel throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom, double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us his truth, to the sincere Akwath that listen along and learning. Shalom. And just stumbled across this article that I'll be going into, right? And it speaks about the gas surges across the US, and it's very crucial because you have other small countries like this humper rock here, that I live in, so-called Jamaica, that depend on the oil that come from the US, right? And at the end of the day, all of these oil surges, they're blaming it on the war that's happening, the so-called war that's happening in Ukraine, right? Which is no friggin' war, man. That's just control opposition set up by the elites of the world. You understand? To bring in a new system that they are planning to bring in, which is a new world order. You understand? But let's get into the article. And it says there, California's gas averages tops $6 per gallon as prices surge across the US. And it says California state average for a gallon of gas has surged above $6, making fuel in the Golden State the most expensive across the US. The average price at the pump in California hit a record $6.021 per gallon on Tuesday, according to AAA. Prices are up 31 cents per gallon over the last month and $1.89 higher than a year ago. While California's prices are the highest in the country, the national average of $4.523 is also a record, with every state now averaging more than $4, according to the AAA. And naturally, all the other states are going to follow through. They're going to follow suit and increase their prices. You understand? So we can see the walls of these high prices closing in on the people. Very, very soon, you're going to have a lot of upset people. You're going to have a lot of robbery, concerning oil going on all across the US. Because I've seen videos where people are actually robbing, oil from people's engines. You understand? And it's kind of hilarious because when you understand prophecy, and you see what's getting ready to happen to these people, especially Jake, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans, who are the biblical Israelites. You see, when these things start to ramp up, it's gonna be hell on earth. We could just finish it. It's a little more left. So it says the sharp jump is in part due to a rise in oil prices, which makes up more than half of the total price of gasoline. The high cost of oil, the key ingredient in gasoline, is driving. So it's the cost of oil, the key ingredient in gasoline, is driving these high pump prices for consumers, Andrew Gross, AAA spokesperson, said Monday in a statement. Even the annual seasonal demand dip for gasoline during the lull between spring break and Memorial Day, which would normally help lower prices, is having no effect this year, he added. A lack of refining capacity is also pushing up prices. Refiners turn oil into petroleum products like gasoline, and demand for such products is surging as economic activity returns. But refining capacity is lower than pre-pandemic levels, which contributes to their rapid price rise. And that's pretty much a point. And you see, oil is something that is very precious, right? It's one of the most precious resources on the earth. But why are we having these problems? We should be having these problems. Why are we having these problems? Because the elites have plans for the world, right? That's a very sinister plans. You understand? And at the end of the day, all of this is orchestrated and planned out by Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, right? This is wicked because we use oil. We depend on oil every day. People have vehicles. You know, people, you have various different form of oil products that people use on a daily basis. You know what I mean? And if you say you're manipulating the prices because you're trying to trap the people in a box, this is a very evil thing. You understand? And when we think of evils, we think about, you know, things, Esau Edom and his work and all his evil works through the left hand. But at the end of the day, you have to remember who controls the left hand. Who is pretty much giving Esau the permission to do these things, right? It's all go back to Yahweh Shimei Shai. Understand? Amos 3 and 6. It tell you, it's your evil that the Lord haven't done. Right? That's why the more you submerge yourself in these scriptures, the more you flesh out the understanding. Right? Amos 3 and 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Here's the point. Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord hath not done it? Exactly. This is one of the acts that the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, is allowing Esau to do, ultimately to bring hell upon these people because the world is wicked. You feel me? And he's using none other than Esau, the so-called white man, who has set up that war, so-called war in Ukraine, and using it as a ruse to, to pretty much drive these prices sky high. Understand? Because Esau, he owns the world right now as it is. He's the current ruler of the world, because that man was promised the fatness of the earth. So when you have the fatness of the earth, you can pretty much get away with anything, right? Let's go back to his blessing. The blessing that he got. Genesis 27:38, and Esau, because Jacob got the birthright, right? And he was upset. So he was crying. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept like a little baby. 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live violence, fine artillery and weaponry, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. I will know this happened back in the Renaissance period when Esau came back into power. And he has been there ever since. That's why them can't get out of the prophecy that say they are the fourth beast. Can't get out of it. And we are living in the final leg of the fourth beast right now. You understand? Them have the power. So them do all of these wicked things to people. But the Lord Yahweh Shimei Shai set them up, and it's gonna bring them down. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Be an evil man, I'm going with. What do I want? What did they not devise evils? Alright. Micah chapter 2. Let's get it real fast. Chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity, Esau Edom, and work evil upon their beds, the elites of Esau Edom. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. That's them. They do all of these things because they have the power. A lot of these things they do, they do it over a glass of wine. A lot of these wicked things that they plan in the world, they do it over a glass of wine and a plate of food, whether they're eating humans or because, these people are wicked. The upper echelon of Esau, they are the opposition of the Most High. But the Lord put them there to do all of these things. Yeah, man. But it's going to be hell on earth when these oil prices surge, when the average man have to decide between eating and filling up his gas tank. That's it through the spirit, Troublesome times are coming. Lord willing, this was edifying. Our praises to Yahweh Shimei Shai. Shalom.